I told my doctor I forget things. He said, how long has that been happening? I said, how long's what been happening? I don't even remember telling him.
Bradley said he's an influencer. I said, I influenced your mother to keep you, so technically I'm your boss.
My grandson Bradley told me gaming is his career. I said, perfect. Now tell me how much your paycheck in Mario coins is worth. Ha! It's me, jobless.
Susan said I should try journaling. I did. It's just a list of people I don't like. It's getting long.
My neighbor said she's doing a juice cleanse. I said, so am I. Mine just comes with vodka. Hydration's all about priorities.
My hearing's getting bad. Last week I thought someone said, you look good for your age. Turns out they said, you look tired. Guess I need louder compliments.
My grandson Bradley asked if I believe in love at first sight. I said, no, but I believe in regret after 5 minutes. And that's being generous.
These makeup influencers keep saying, a little concealer goes a long way. Sweetie, it would take spackle and a license from Home Depot to hide what's going on with all of you these days.
Bradley said he's manifesting success. I said, try manifesting rent money first. That boy, gonna have to pay for his vision board. I signed up for one of those meditation apps. First thing it said was close your eyes and breathe. I said, oh great, another man telling me to be quiet. At least this one only charges $9.99 a month.
Bradley said I should try meditation. I said, I already do. It's called ignoring you. It works like a charm.
Bradley asked what middle age means. I said, that's when your back goes out more than you do. Mine's a social butterfly.
My therapist said I use humor to deflect. I said, wow, nice earrings. Bradley called me an NPC. I said, then why am I the one paying the electric bill? I told Bradley I'm old, not dead. He said, prove it. So I backed into his car on purpose. Insurance is going to love that. My grandson Bradley said, I'm out of touch with reality. I said, good, reality sucks. I lived through disco, 2 divorces, and dial-up internet. And I still have the scars. Somebody said filters make you look younger. Sweetie, if I wanted to lie that hard, I'd be in politics. Maybe I'd still get free pens. Someone asked if I could still drive. I said, of course I can drive, but you may want to say a prayer first. Someone asked me how old I am. I told him I'm 70 years old. He said, wow, that's a nice milestone. I said, 70 is horrible. I preferred 69. They said retirement would be relaxing. I didn't realize that meant watching Bradley relaxing on my couch instead of job hunting. My pharmacist asked if I take my meds responsibly. I said, oh, sure. I give each of them a name and pick my favorite one. I really miss Richard. A scammer called me and told me my car warranty was expired. I said, sweetheart, my hips expired in 1992. Do you want those too? I'll throw in the knees for free. I told my grandson I've been working on myself. He said, that's great, Grandma. What are you working on? I said, well, the biggest improvement is I went from 11 margaritas a day down to 10 a day. My smartwatch said, time to get up and move around. I said, time to mind your damn business. Can't even sass my kids like that. The neighbor said, you should smile more. I said, and you should remember that you have a wife. We all have dreams. I went speed dating. It's terrible. It's like job interviews, except I'm overqualified and underpaid. And the benefits are worse. Bradley said I need to take accountability. I said, sweetie, the only things I take are coupons in the weekly paper and free samples from Costco. And I don't even feel bad about those.
Bradley asked why I always talk to myself. I said, because I'm the only one in this house with a high school diploma in common sense. I might even start charging myself rent.
Bradley said, you drink too much and smoke too much. I said, you talk too much for someone with no job who's always on my Wi-Fi. Priorities, Brad.
I asked Bradley to teach me some TikTok dances before he left for vacation. Later, I was found on the floor by my neighbor pressing my life alert button.
I told my doctor I'm feeling tired all the time. He said, that's just part of getting older. I said, well, I'd like a refund.
My son said, I'm too judgmental. I said, I'll be the judge of that.
A young man walked up to me at the grocery store and said, wow, you're a beautiful bird. I'd love to take you home and show you a few things. I said, hun, I'm 70. I've seen it all, and I'm too old to care anymore.
Bradley asked how I met Grandpa. I said, in person, like a true psychopath. Kids think romance is an app now.
They said age is just a number. Yeah, and mine's unlisted. That man across the street said I look good for my age. I said, and you look employed for someone that useless. Probably his first compliment all week. Doctor told me to walk more. I said, honey, if stress burned calories, I'd be a damn runway model. I'd be in Paris right now. Bradley said he finally filled out a job application. I said, did you attach your empty resume or just a photo of your Xbox?
The other day, a gentleman told me he's been working for 48 years. I said, maybe you should talk to my grandson, Bradley. He can't even keep a job for 48 hours.
Can you believe I made it to 70?
Woo! Look, 90, not 70.
Oh, sweetheart, I'm flattered. But can it wait till after the show? I'm not accepting boyfriend applications right now.
My smartwatch said I only took 400 steps today. I said, sweetheart, you must have missed me walking to hell and back trying not to strangle Bradley. And that was before breakfast.
My neighbor Susan said she's aging gracefully. I said, yeah, well, I'm aging violently. We all have our journey.
You ever notice kids today have allergies to everything? My grandson Bradley's allergic to hard work and accountability. I met a man online who said he loves dogs. I said, perfect. I bark in my sleep and shed emotionally. I'm practically housebroken. Bradley's girlfriend came over the other day. Poor girl looked like she was being held hostage by a man who showers bi-weekly. Not a great ransom situation.
My grandson, Bradley, always comes home from school saying,
6'7" all the time. I told him, Bradley, I'm 5'2", and I've been disappointed since 1948.
my yoga instructor told me to breathe through the pain. I said, lady, I'm 70 years old. That's all I ever do anymore.
I told Bradley to chase his dreams. He's been sleeping till noon ever since, so technically he's doing great.
My grandson told me he's chronically online. I told him that's funny. I'm chronically disappointed. People say I shouldn't date younger men. But life's short, and so are most of the ones I pick up at Applebee's. Comes with the appetizer. My new neighbor had the audacity to introduce himself. I said, if you ever need anything, ask the other neighbors and don't bother me. I went on a walk to clear my head. All it did was confirm I don't like outside. Not even a little bit.
My doctor told me to eat clean, so I opened a bottle of wine and wiped it off first. Sparkling counts as clean, right? My regular doctor said I should eat more greens, so I had mint ice cream, key lime pie, and an appletini.
Pretty sure I'm a health nut now. My best friend got a facelift. Now her eyebrows are so high she looks permanently surprised that Walmart exists. She'll thank me later.
Bradley said he's taking a break from job hunting. I said, sweetheart, you can't take a break from something you've never started. Maybe try taking a break from that Fortnite game for a while.
Creepy neighbor said I look amazing for 70. I told him, sir, that's just the alcohol preserving me like a fine ham. Works better than lotion. I asked my doctor if I could drink wine. He said, 1 glass shouldn't hurt. I said, perfect. And went to Walmart and bought a fishbowl. I remember when $5 bought dinner and a movie date. Now all it gets me is overpriced coffee and judgmental looks from the barista. And the coffee's bitter, just like her.
I'm 70. They call these my golden years. Feels more like aluminum to me. Lightweight and easily dented. Woo! And that's on a good day.
I tried one of those green smoothies. Tasted like grass and regret. I'll stick to wine and denial. Cheaper, too.